Hello and welcome to BioRules video lessons. Today we are going to be talking about seeds and something related to the seeds into the angiosperm plants. So first thing, let's talk about the seed structure. The seeds, they have different parts. The outside layer is called the seed coat or the skin. The cotyledon over here is actually the name that we give to the part that has the endosperm or the nutritive tissue of the seeds. The scar, where the seed was connected into the fruit and it was connected before into the ovary, is called the hilum. And you have the embryo here in green. The embryo has different parts. It has a radicle, a small little roots. It has leaves that are going to be growing to make the first leaves to get energy from the sun. And it has an hypocotyl. It's a little shoulder that will help the seeds to push itself out of the soil or push anything out of the way when it's growing. And has the epicotyl, that's basically going to be the stem. So this here is how the seed looks like inside. If we look here at the seed germinating, we see the hypocotyl over here. It's this little elbow that is very hard and very resistant, and it pushes the seed outside of the soil. So it can resist the mechanical problems of pushing the soil. After it gets out of the soil, then the hypocotyl gets straight again, and then it grows straight. The little leaves, they become the first leaves over there, and the cotyledons, they are going to be providing the food for this growing plant while they don't have leaves to be doing photosynthesis. And when the cotyledon get all drained out, the endosperm of it gets all sucked out, then the endosperm here is simply they have performed its function, the energy has been taken, and it goes away. And of course we see here the radicle that has grown into a root because the plant needs to get water and ions from the soil. Okay. There are two different kinds of seeds that separate actually two different branches of plants. So you can separate the plants into two big groups. The dicotyledonous, because they have two cotyledons. If you get a seed from a bean, they are going to be opening in two sides. The cotyledon actually it can be broken into halves. While the monocotyledonous, they are going to have only one cotyledon. They don't break into half. So that's why it's called monocotyledonous, dicotyledonous. Okay? So this is a very simple difference, but this will make an entire difference to the group of plants that we are going to be working with. They are very different, not only in the number of cotyledons that you can find. So we separate the plants into monocotyledonous and dicotyledonous. So one of the first things, of course, the obvious one is the number of cotyledons. Monocotyledonous have one, dicotyledonous have two. Duh, quite simple, okay? But there are other differences. If you look to the leaf of a dicotyledonous plant, it will be that typical leaf that you know that have venation that's reticulated. It's all little branched, these venations, they are all branched over there. They are reticulated like a net. And the monocotyledonous, they have parallel venation. They are not reticulated. So that's one very easy way for us to identify a monocotyledonous tree from a dicotyledonous tree. Okay, so there it is, reticulated venation, parallel venation. That's what makes one big difference. Another difference is the branches. So basically, the dicotyledonous, they are typically very, very branched. They have many branches in the plant, so very easy to spot them. And monocotyledonous are usually not branched. So they have one central stem. They may have leaves getting out like we have here in corn, or on the top like we have in palm trees. So very, very branched and usually not branched. Why do I say usually? There are exceptions. There are some plants like bamboos that have a central stem, but it has some sort of branching, so sometimes this is not universal, okay? Roots as well. The roots from the dicotyledonous are branched. They go down in a pivot, that we call it a pivotal root, and it branches from there and branch. While the roots from the monocotyledonous, they look like an upside down cebolinha hair. They have one main origin and then they just spread from that one central origin over there. Okay? And one last characteristic that we can see from outside in a plant is the flowers. So the monocotyledonous, they have multiple of 3 floral elements. Multiple of 3 petals, multiple of 3 sepals, multiple of 3 stamens, multiple of 3 ovary chambers. So if you look inside, multiple of 3, that's monocotyledonous. While the dicotyledonous are going to be multiple of 4 or 5. So 4, 8, 10, 16, 15. The problem here will be the 12. 12 is a multiple of 3 and 4. So in that case, we don't know if it's monocotyledonous or dicotyledonous. So just putting things here together in this little beautiful diagram, we have here the number of cotyledons. We have the leaves, reticulated or parallel veins. And if we cut the stem of our dicotyledonous, you're going to find that they have a ring of vascular bundles. We saw this before when we studied the stems. So the dicotyledonous, they have rings. And the monocotyledonous, the bundles are going to be scattered all over the stem. Okay? And finally, as I just mentioned, multiple of 3 for the monocotyledonous, multiple of 4 or 5 for the dicotyledonous. Okay? The question then comes to this: what the hell is an orchid? Orchids, they are very difficult for us to count the number of petals. It looks like you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but actually, if we look at the leaves of orchids they have parallel venation. So actually, the floral elements, if you look here inside, this will be probably divided in 2 over here. They have 6 floral elements. Here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a big one over here, 6. So orchids are very weird. They have very different flowers, very difficult for us to identify floral elements in there. But if you look to the leaves, they are monocotyledonous, simple and clear. Okay? So now we can go to an item pool questionnaire to answer some questions. If you use a cell phone to read these QR codes, you can open it or you can type the link below in your computer to be able to answer a few questions about seeds and also about mono and dicotyledonous. I hope you have fun.